Am I crazy here? Is it just me? Would you also buy a phone that you would take home, plug in, and be your one and only desktop? Hi, I'm Beau. So, the reviews are out, the real world tests are coming in. Looks like the M1 chip is the real deal. It's so fast, so amazing. Well done. All the cool kids are talking about it, but here's something that no one is talking about yet. So let's not waste any time and jump right into it. Cue that fancy intro. Oh, that's right, I don't have a fancy intro. I just have a squeaky chair. So there's two things that I want to cover. One, the future. Two, the future. We'll get there. It's actually not a new idea at all. Motorola did it back in 2011. They came out with this phone called the Motorola Atrix. When you're using it as a phone, it's a phone. Take it home, plug it in into the dock, it becomes a desktop environment.
Slap this phone into the dock, it will bring up the web top environment.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
The web top, you'll have a couple of things that you can do.
And by a couple, he really meant literally just a couple things.
So you'll see
it didn't work very well, but the idea was really good. As nerdy people like me know, the M1, that's based off of the A14 Bionic. That's already in the iPad Air and the iPhone 11. I mean, soon these chips are gonna have 16, 24, 128 cores. That's serious desktop performance in a phone. Am I crazy here? Is it just me? Would you also buy a phone that you would take home, plug in, and be your one and only desktop? Let me know in the comments. Now, the second thing I really want to talk about is upgrading. Well, you can't. Those days are gone. Apple more and more is like an appliance computer. What does that mean? Well, an appliance, refrigerator, stove, washing machine. If something breaks on it, we find ourselves more often just replacing the entire thing instead of just fixing it. So why is this a good thing? Well, on the surface, it's not. If I want to upgrade my computer, I can't really do that with a Mac anymore. But, I mean, look at this thing. Look at how tiny it is. We've got the system on the chip, the RAM is embedded into it, the controllers, that's the entire board, that's the whole computer. You take away the battery, you take away the keyboard, you take away the screen, that's what you've got. That's your computer. Wait, doesn't Apple tout themselves as one of the most environmentally responsible of companies with their recycled aluminum and their other things that they're doing? If I've got to replace my entire computer, how is this good for the environment? Aha! What is to stop Apple from me taking in my old computer and saying, hey, I'll take the new board, please? I mean, what's to stop them from just slapping in the new board into the chassis that I already have? Nothing has really changed. You plug in the battery, the keyboard, you have the display port, assuming the display connector doesn't change, which it probably will, but anyways, okay, maybe it's a dreamer's world and Apple would never do that, but it's a really interesting idea. Apple could still make a really good margin. They wouldn't have to do any manufacturing or any shipping beyond the chips and the boards themselves to get it out to consumers. I mean, to upgrade my computer, I would pay $500 for that. I'd have essentially an entirely new computer just using the older components that I have. I'm fine with that. I mean, we'd be talking about an entire system here where Apple would be refurbishing older projects by Apple for Apple. Apple doesn't want to sell you old things, they want to sell you new things, not a half new, half old thing. All right, fine. But what's to stop you from doing it? The M2, the M3, the M5. You could potentially buy this board and the chip and put it in your old computer. It connects to the battery. Maybe you need an adapter for the display. You plug in the keyboard, you're finished. You have essentially an entire new computer. What do you think? Is this ridiculous? I'm Beau. Let me know in the comments. I would love to have this conversation with you guys because you can clearly see that nobody's talking to me here.